1 second. Hi, everybody, and good morning. Welcome to our week number 4 Twitch live stream for my intro psych class. I know it's a different day and a different time. I'm so sorry for the change to our normal schedule. I've been fighting like all this sickness that's going around, and my voice was just completely shot yesterday, and I didn't think that I would be able to hold up. So I'm sorry for changing things, but I'll try and keep this kind of short and sweet. If you're watching this later, that's totally fine, of course. And those of you who are joining me, thank you so much for being here with me early on a Thursday morning. So as I said, it's week number 4, and what I want to do today is just kind of go over what we have due this week, which is our second exam, our discussions like usual, and all of that kind of stuff. Of course, at the end, I will wait and see if you have any questions for me, and I'll give you that extra credit question. I know there's not a ton of you in here, but can you hear me and see me? Okay, if somebody could let me know in the chat if you can hear and see me just fine, that would be amazing. We might get cats today since I'm at home. That's always exciting. We can hope, right? If they come anywhere near me, I will wrangle them. But could somebody give me a thumbs up or a yes? Let me know if you can hear me. You can just put that in the chat. Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate you letting me know. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and go over to Canvas together and take a look at what we have going on. So we are right here. We're in week number 4. So once we finish this week, we'll actually be halfway through our 8-week class that we have together. So we're in the middle of this like 3 to 4 week combination. Everything is due this Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. So let's take a look at what we have going on this week. So for week 4, we're looking at chapters 7 and 8. We have discussion 7 and 8. We have exam number 2, and then there's the extra credit question like usual. And of course, I'll post the recording of this a little bit later. A lot of you are probably watching the recording. Since I changed the time, I know that kind of makes it difficult with our schedules being what they are. But for this week, as usual, we want to make sure you're doing 3 things, right, for every chapter. So make sure that you read the chapter in the ebook, and then go through my lecture, and then watch the lecture video. And same thing for chapter 8. Read chapter 8 in the ebook, read through the lecture, watch the lecture video, take notes, right? Watch any videos that I put in there, click on any links that are in there. A lot of little things in memory and cognition to try and help make things clear. You have 2 discussions for this week, like always. Discussion 7 related to memory and discussion 8 related to cognition. So let's take a quick look at those together. As always, you have your instructions up here at the top. Remember to keep thinking about these like mini papers, really elaborate in your responses. Don't forget that 2-point peer response. I know it seems like it's not a big deal, but those 2 points will definitely add up. So you want to make sure you're getting those 2 very easy points every week. Here's my little video that I always encourage you to watch, kind of giving you some feedback. This one, you're going to need to watch it for sure because it has the sequence of letters and numbers that you need for the discussion. So make sure that you do watch that video really quickly. And one of the topics that we looked at for this week is kind of how to hold on to information, along with some tips for improving your memory. So what you're going to do with this one is you're going to watch the video, and I give you a 28-digit sequence of letters and numbers in that video. And if you were taking this class with me in person, you'd actually have to memorize that, and I would like test you on it in person. Luckily for you, you don't need to do that. But I want you to watch the video, and then if you needed to retain this 28-digit sequence and you had no way of writing it down, if you had to hold on to it for a matter of seconds, what would be your best strategy? And if you had to hold on to it for a matter of days, what would be your best strategy? And there are a lot of methods for encoding and retaining information in short-term and long-term memory that we talked about in the lecture and the book. So really make sure that you are referencing those, that you show me that you understand them and could apply them. I'm also really looking that you can give me a different one for seconds versus days. You should have like a slightly different method for holding on to that information for a short time versus a long time. So make sure that you're highlighting that in how you would retain and hold on to that sequence. I want you to describe in detail 2 specific strategies that you could use to help study or remember things for the exams. And then do you have any personal tips for memory that you would like to share? What strategies do you use in your life to help remember important information. Like I always tend to, whenever I go anywhere with a huge parking lot, I try and like create a mnemonic device to remember where I parked so that I'm not wandering through the Mickey and Friends parking structure after Disneyland, like trying to find my car, right? So if I park in D2, I'll sit there and go R2D2, 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 right? And try and come up with like an alliteration or a mnemonic device in order to help myself. So really answer all these questions. Big one here, sometimes I'll see people lose points right here for not giving me their specific method. So if you make a story, give me the story, right? Make sure that you're really showing off and highlighting what you would do. Discussion number 8, if we go back, is related to cognition. And so for this one, again, you have my instructions, you have the video, like always. One of the topics for chapter 8 was intelligence. And so in your own words, how would you define intelligence? You can write out a definition. You can give me some attributes and behaviors that you think of with intelligent people. You could do a combination of both. What are some things that you could do to increase your intelligence? And then the book and lecture talked about 3 characteristics that a test should have to be considered a good test of intelligence. What are those 3 characteristics or properties? I really want you to explain them to me. So make sure you're explaining them in order to show me that you understand. You could give me an example if that's something that might help you to do that. But this is the biggest points of this discussion right here. So make sure that you're really talking about and highlighting those 3 elements, define them, describe them, and then you could always give me an example as well if you would like. So those are the 2 discussions for this week. So make sure that you do both of those like usual. And then we do have exam number 2. So I want to take a few minutes to go over some reminders and tips and things related to the test. It is the same format and style as exam number 1. And a lot of you did beautifully on that first exam. So if you did really well, do the same things, approach this exam in the same way, and hopefully you'll be in a really good spot. But exam number 2, just like exam number 1, is on the ebook site. So if you click on it, it'll remind you to go to the ebook site. So it's on there. A couple of reminders. Remember, you have 75 minutes to complete the exam. And once you start, that 75 minutes is going. You only get that 1 attempt. So make sure that you're organized and ready and all set to go before you hit click begin. And some tips for what I mean by that: make sure that you've studied and prepared. If it were me, as I mentioned to you for our first exam, I would do the study guide. I would go through and I would write out or type out every term on the study guide, and I would have it right in front of me. If you are trying to look up the answers to everything, you are going to run out of time or be very short on time. So make sure that you have studied and prepared like you would for a traditional exam. Also, make sure that you have 75 minutes to spare, that you have good internet, you have a nice quiet place to take the exam. All of those things are going to help set you up for success. Also, I would really love to recommend to you, please do not wait until Sunday night to take it. Inevitably, it's always the case, right? The power goes out, your internet will go out, your computer will crash, something will go wrong. So please try and, take it a little bit earlier. Take it today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday morning even, but try not to wait until Sunday evening. It's the same style of multiple choice, true, false, and matching. And so the study guide is going to be really helpful for you, which is right here underneath it. So if you click on study guide number 2, it's going to bring up everything that you need to know for this exam. And the exams aren't cumulative. So this exam is on chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8. Basically everything from this unit. Someone said the study guide was amazing. Thanks for that. I'm glad it was helpful for you. I don't want you working harder than you need to. It's already enough information. So as long as you know everything that's on here, know all of these terms, you will be in a really good spot. And again, if it were me, what I would do is I would go through and I would type all these out and I would have it in front of me. That way you're not in the middle of the exam and go like, oh my gosh, I don't remember what selective attention is. Where was that? Was that in the lecture? Was that in the book? Was that in the video? If you're trying to find it in the middle of the test, you're going to be in a bad spot, right? So writing it all out and having it in front of you will be great. Remember that there are no trick questions. Like everything should be very clear. I wrote everything that's on there. So make sure that you read things again if it seems a little tricky. Skip things if you don't know the answer. You can always come back to it. It's plenty of time. The average amount of time people took on the last exam was right around 59, 60 minutes. So what that tells me is most people had plenty of time And again, I think the exams are very straightforward. So as long as you are studying and preparing, you should be in really, really good shape. So those are the big things for this week, right? Read the 2 chapters and then complete the lectures and lecture videos. Complete the 2 discussions. Don't forget about exam number 2. If you haven't done week number 3, that is still open to you. Remember, everything from weeks 3 and 4 is due by this Sunday night. So don't forget about discussion 5 and 6 and that little short self-assessment number 1. A lot of you have already done it, but just as a quick reminder, if you have not, it's there for you. And so is that extra credit number 3 is still available until this Sunday night as well. I will give you that extra credit question in a couple of minutes here. I have a couple of reminders for you, and then I'll see if you have any questions for me. Oops, I forgot to put that in the chat earlier. Don't forget to put your name in the chat at some point if you haven't already. Also, make sure to double check your subscription status. So because we're in week number 4, if you subscribe for free with Prime, there's a really good chance that it is expiring this week. So it's only good for 30 days. Not very many of you did this process, and I know it's a little bit of work to set up both accounts, but I really appreciate your help in doing this. It saves me so much time if you are subscribed. So I really greatly appreciate those of you who took the time to do that. And if you're watching this later as a recording, which I imagine will be a lot of people this week because of the day and time change, remember that you can still get the extra credit if you are subscribed on Twitch. So if you could do me a favor and double check that, and I'd like to take 1 minute and show you. So it's tricky for me to show you on my channel. So I'm going to go to like a random football channel that I follow. Football starts today, by the way. I am so excited. I'm such a big football fan. And today is the day. It is football Thursday. So very exciting stuff. So if you were on my channel, pretend this is my Psyched with Setmire channel. Notice how right here, there's this purple bar that says subscribe. Okay, let me see, there we go, hopefully you could see it all right. If you click on the down arrow, it's going to bring up a thing in the middle, and again, I'm showing you on a random channel, of a fantasy football channel, but all the way down at the bottom, see how it says use Prime Sub? If you click on that, right, let me make this a little like higher here so you can see it, sorry. My screen doesn't always match the screen. So let me show you one last time. So you go on this purple bar, you click on the down arrow, and then all the way down at the bottom, there's this button where it says use Prime Sub. And then you click on subscribe for free with Prime for 1 month, and that will renew your subscription for 30 days. And you'll have to do this maybe one more time, but that's how you renew it. So if you've noticed that you lost the football cake next to your name, or your subscription has ended, that's how you renew it really quickly. Pretty simple to do once you've set it all up. If you've never set things up, you can still do that. And again, I really do appreciate those of you who have taken that time. Thank you. The other reminder that I have for you, if you're looking at the calendar, our next Twitch live stream will be on the 13th. So let me put that here in the chat. Our next Twitch live stream will be on Wednesday, September 13th at 11:30 a.m. Okay, so back to our normal day and time. I'm sorry again to switch things up on you this week. I just wasn't feeling very well yesterday. I'm not sure I feel a whole lot better today, but a little bit. So sorry for changing things, and thank you for those of you who are still able to be here. The last thing for you, let me give you that Twitch extra credit question, and I wrote it out to save myself. So let me put that here in the chat. So this is the week number 4 Twitch extra credit question. What does it mean that our short-term memory can hold 7 plus or minus 2 pieces of information? What does it mean that our short-term memory can hold 7 plus or minus 2 pieces of information? And this is something that I talked about in the lecture and also in the textbook. So something you should be able to answer once you've done all your reading for the week. And when you're ready to answer that, you go back to Canvas. And since we're in week number 4, you'll click on optional Twitch extra credit number 4 right here. And that will bring up this start assignment that you click at the top. And then in the text box down here, you can type your response and then hit submit. And then you'll get your little confetti burst. and trophies. Perfect. They're football trophies, right? For our first day of football today. Go Chiefs, I suppose. I don't know. I'm a big Patrick Mahomes fan. So anyway, don't forget you can do this extra credit. You can either do that if you've joined me live here, or if you're watching this later and you're subscribed, as we talked about. Otherwise, make sure you get going on week number 4. Good luck on exam number 2 and those 2 discussions for the week. I look forward to reading your strategies for holding on to that 28 digit sequence of letters and numbers. And I hope you all are hanging in there and doing well, staying healthy. There's a lot of sickness going around, so try and stay healthy, take care of yourselves. And we will be back to our normal day and time next week, which will be Wednesday at 11:30. So what I will do is I'll hang out for a little bit if you do have any questions for me. Otherwise, feel free to get going on the stuff for this week and last week if you haven't already. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, a wonderful weekend. It's going to get hot again, which is such a shame, but that's okay. At least we have football. Like all the world is better because football is back, at least for me. So anyway, have a wonderful day, everyone. I'm going to minimize my video just so I'm not staring at myself. But if you do have any questions, I am here and would be happy to answer them. Otherwise, have a wonderful week. I'll see you all on Wednesday next week. Thank you. You as well, Joshua. Thank you. Thank you. You too. I hope you have a wonderful week and wonderful weekend. Thank you. Thank you. You as well. I just want to feel healthy. I'm tired of feeling. It's hard when you have little kids. They get you sick all the time. You too. Have a wonderful day. Yeah, there was an extra credit number 3, and the to-do list is a little bit confusing on Canvas. Like it only clicks things off if you click them off. But yeah, if you go back, when we did the live stream last week, I did give you an extra credit question. So if you go back to week number 3, you can watch the recording right here. And in the recording, you can get the question. So yes, there was definitely one, and it's not due until this Sunday night, so you can still answer that. No worries. There should be one every week. So if you ever miss them, you can go back and uh, and watch it later. You too. Thank you so much.